Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamie Skevland. I'm the superintendent of the Montevideo School District. Before we get started tonight, I just want to explain how to ask questions because we're going to be providing you with a lot of information tonight about the referendum. That's going to be happening on February 10th, which is a Tuesday. And we know you have questions, and I want to explain to you how to ask questions. I know a lot of you who've worked online, you typically would go to a chat. Tonight, you're not going to go to a chat. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to try to go through, explain how to ask a question. And of course, let's see if I can, I can't. Oh, I got the floor plan. Let me explain it to you. It's going to be super easy to explain. On the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you will see 9 dots, 3 across, 3 down. There's 9 dots in a square. You're going to click on that. Once you click on that, it says, ask your question. And so type your question in there. We have a moderator here tonight. Your question will go to a moderator. That moderator will ask the question on your behalf. And so and you can ask questions throughout, or you can wait until the end to ask questions. And right now I do see that we have 2 school board members present. We have Dustin Shords and Travis Bierhansel. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn it over to Travis. Travis?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. I will not take long. I'm going to move it right on to our 2 important people that are going to present in. We have Matthew Hammer here with Ehlers, who the school district works with on the financial side of things. And we also have Matthew Wolfert with Bray Architect, which is the architect firm that we have been working with throughout this process. So without any further time, I will pass over to Matthew and take it away, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Dustin, thanks for joining. If you want to introduce yourself briefly, if that's okay, as the other board member on the call.
Sure. I'm Dustin Shorts, Vice Chair of the school board. Appreciate everybody being here tonight and hope we can answer any questions that you got.
Thank you, Travis, Dustin, and Jamie. I will apologize in advance if you're getting background noise. I am in the middle of a holiday trip with my family, so I'm in an airport, but we'll get through this. So great. Thank you all for joining on a Sunday evening. We're going to jump right in. Again, I'm Matt Wolfert with Bray Architects. Been working with the district for 4 or 5 years on evaluating facilities, exploring options, and looking forward to sharing briefly with you the solution this evening. So Jamie, if you wouldn't mind, you can click through as you've done so well in the past. We are impacting all 4 buildings in the district. So the 2 elementary schools, the Sanford Ramsey and the middle school, will be receiving safety and security enhancements. So the priority at those 3 buildings, even though we acknowledge and know that there are other needs at the elementary schools for sure, the priority that the board has taken is to focus on enhancing safety and security at those 3 buildings. So as you can see on the screen, Sanford Elementary is receiving a kind of a swap, I would call it. So the current location of number 1, there's a classroom there. It's also the location that if you come to the school, you would enter, you would approach, you'd press the button on the outside, you'd be released in. But you could, if you had ill intentions, be able to move throughout the building before checking in with the office. So what we're proposing to do is switch number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is currently the office. So if the referendum is approved, the number 1 on the screen will become our secure entrance and office location. So it will comply with current standards where a visitor will come to the building, they will come into the entry vestibule, small lobby area, come into the office, check in, and then if they get through their checks, they would be allowed into the building. It's a layer of protection that doesn't allow people to move throughout the building until they have gone through the background check and protocol that will be done for security purposes. Number 2 is simply a switch again. As I noted before, the current offices will become a classroom. And then number 3 in this case is to improve our current staff workroom and bathrooms. We basically have no ADA compliant adult restrooms within the facility, and a really insufficient staff work area. So that's what number 3 will become. So minor but very important scope at Sanford. And as we move to Ramsey, you're going to hear a very similar story. That the solution is very similar. In the Ramsey case, number 4 is a current classroom that will become the office and secure entry area. Number 5 is the current office that will become our additional classroom that we're displacing with the secure office entry renovation. And some special education spaces, which are critically important to the overall function of the building. And then the final piece, just like at Sanford, number 6 will become an improvement to provide staff workrooms and bathrooms, which are currently not accessible. They sit on the existing stage adjacent to the gym. So we'll be able to provide an ADA compliant workroom and restrooms for our staff. And then as we move to the middle school, a smaller improvement, but still the same goal, which is to enhance security at the main entry sequence. So number 7 on the plan, the current office, for those of you that know the middle school, you could actually get buzzed through the doors, get into the main hallway that runs all the way across the school, east and west. And you can basically move throughout the building after you're buzzed in. We will be making the minor renovations at number 7 to require visitors to go into the office, get checked in, go through security, and then be released in. The other small piece of this is number 8, adding an entry canopy. This will allow for students to wait for their parents to pick them up, drop them off at the beginning and end of the day, and also will allow for an identifiable entrance. As visitors to the school, it's not clear which is the entrance. Do you go to the west side or the east side, the district office or the middle school office? And this will benefit the community in terms of creating an identifiable entrance. But really, it's there to enhance the ability for students to wait for their wait for their drop off at the end of the school day. We'll move on to the high school, which is where the majority of the work is being done. And don't worry about the digital key on the right side. It's pretty small. I will just talk you through what's going to be done here. So one of the biggest issues the high school faces are plumbing challenges. It's the water supply to science labs, to locker rooms, to bathrooms. Even more critical is the sanitary side. Where does the water go as it goes down the drain? So the drain lines that run under the concrete slabs throughout the building. Both of those are original and are deteriorating. Very normal, not due to any neglect or anything that the district has done, just the reality of a building of this age. And so you will see called out with number 1s throughout this plan, the student bathrooms in the academic classroom wings, kind of near the number 7 and the number 2. The number 1s that are adjacent to the number 5 on the plan and the number 6 on the plan, those are the gym bathrooms on the upper level would all be remodeled to address our plumbing challenges. And it's not shown on this plan, but on the lower level in number 10 are the locker rooms. Those would also have the plumbing challenges addressed. So the bathrooms and showers, which serve students every day and every night and weekend, would be addressed as well. The other piece of the bathroom renovations, as we're calling them, the plumbing needs, is that we would be addressing the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, challenges that those bathrooms face. As many of them are original to the construction of the building, they don't meet current standards for access and accessibility for students, staff, and community that have some additional needs for that. Number 2 on the plan is basically the same as we just went through on Sanford Ramsey in the middle school, which is enhancing security at the main entry sequence. Just like the other buildings, they're secure, but they could use a little bit of a tweak and improvement. And this would allow us to deepen the vestibule area and allow visitors to have to go through a more secure check-in sequence at the building. Number 3 addresses the same thing. Basically, we're just doing some additional work at the office and at the student services area to address that. Number 4 is the current cafeteria and kitchen area. So those of you that know the building, on the left side of number 4, we have the current kitchen and cafeteria. On the right side of number 4, we have the band and choir rooms. And those band and choir rooms, for those of you that know it, are sunk. So they're a half a floor, 6, 7, 8 feet lower than the corridor that runs past them. So this proposal would renovate all of that area, current cafeteria, kitchen, band, and choir space, to provide a larger cafeteria, kitchen, and servery. There are more needs these days regarding trying to get students moved through lunch faster so that we can keep them more focused on classrooms. I believe a board member shared one of their students has, or one of their children has a current situation where they go to class for a few minutes, go to lunch, then go back to that same class. And that's purely driven by the scale and size of the cafeteria. And so this would address that. We would be able to seat more students and allow the schedule, which benefits kids, to be much more structured and give the district more flexibility to operate the cafeteria more effectively. And then the right side of this, the current band and choir space, would be brought up to the same level as the corridor adjacent. And we would build a family and consumer science area as part of that, as well as a staff work and bathroom area. Number 5 on the plan, so I apologize, we're kind of moving around a little bit, but number 5 on the plan is back over towards the gymnasium. This would be another ADA improvement project by renovating the current gym lobby. For those of you that didn't know, when you walk in, you probably don't even know it's really there. There's this kind of unique, slightly sunken, couple steps down area that was designed for the media adjacent to number 5. And that will be brought up to the same floor level as the current lobby. And by doing that, we can now take our families and community members who need ADA access and visibility of the court. They will have the ability to wheel right up to a glass handrail and see right down into the gym. Right now, what happens is they sit at the front level of the bleachers, and there's people walking in front of them, and they can't see down to the court because of the movement of people in front and the current handrail situation. So that's what number 5 will address in this project. Number 6 is an addition to address some needs in the areas of weight and fitness. So our weight and fitness equipment is currently housed on the lower level, kind of the locker room level, shown with the number 10. We're currently housing our weight fitness equipment in an old locker room. This number 6 would allow us to bring that equipment to the main floor level of the building. That would enhance physical education opportunities, will enhance the ability for after-school activities, sports, co-curriculars, etc., to access that space. Number 7 is a really important part of the project. That will be our science lab renovations. I started with number 1 being a plumbing challenge. That same challenge of plumbing applies to number 7. Our science labs currently don't function well. We have drainage challenges, water challenges, and gas challenges. Just within the last couple months, there's been some real challenges with the gas side of the system for our science labs. So number 7 is an important portion of this project, as it would address not only the plumbing and gas challenges of our science labs, but would also enlarge them slightly to serve today's needs. Right now, the rooms are undersized for delivering our science curriculum, and we would be able to not only enlarge but address the plumbing challenges at number 7 on the plan by doing so. Number 8 is the Performing Arts Center addition. So this would happen to the west of the current classroom wing, west of the existing high school. Those of you that are there have seen the parking lot that was added this summer. The parking lot would be expanded slightly to support the Performing Arts Center if this is approved. But number 8 is that new Performing Arts Center. We'll have a new lobby on the south side of the plan. Number 8, right where that whole piece is the house. So that's where the seating is going to be, about 750 to 800 seats. The stage, and then the rectangle above the 8 and behind the small hallway shown would be all of the support spaces that are needed for a performing arts center. Changing rooms, areas to build sets, to store props, to store wardrobe, etc. So that kind of unlabeled rectangle above is critical to the overall function of the Performing Arts Center. Number 9 on the plan is, some of you may be wondering, where is band and choir going to go if you're going to fill that in over at number 4. Number 9 is the new band and choir space. So this number 9 will address a number of things. We're going to get it close to the Performing Arts Center, which is helpful and important for the overall flow and function of the building. Both of those current spaces are slightly undersized, so we'll be able to address that as part of this. And then the third piece is that will become the state required storm shelter. So the state building code requires a school to have a storm shelter within it, which we don't currently have. And so number 9, the new band and choir spaces, will also become our emergency storm shelter for the entire building. And the final piece of this, number 10, I hit on a little bit earlier through the lens of plumbing improvements, would be the locker rooms on the lower level. We would be addressing not only those plumbing needs, but some slight improvements to the actual locker areas. They're in reasonable shape, but they are quite dated. And so this referendum, while we're in there remodeling the bathrooms to address the plumbing and showers, to address the plumbing challenges, we would be able to address the other needs within the locker areas. So with that, I will turn it back to the rest of the team to move through the finance side of the presentation.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate your time there. Matt Hammer, were you able to join us?
I don't believe Matt Hammer has joined us. What I'll do, Travis, is I'll just kind of rip right through these slides, because essentially what we know is we're going out for a $42 million referendum. What we know is that the average value of a house in the Montevideo School District is valued at $200,000. That is why we say the average tax impact or the average tax increase is $22 per month. And we know in Minnesota that the legislature over the past number of years has increased the tax. They've mitigated the tax for farmers at ag land, especially through the Ag 2 school program. And I know they started a number of years ago about 40%. They increased it, I can't remember, like 50 to 60%. Now it's 70%. And that happens automatically. So it's like farmers don't have to apply for it. It's just automatically applied. It's a tax credit that's automatically applied during tax time. And get to my, you can see how Montevideo compares to other school districts with comparable school taxes. YME is on here twice. Why? Because they just passed their bond referendum back in August. And so actually if we were to redo this graph, Montevideo would be the farthest school district on the left. And you can see that how we compare with other school districts with the tax comparison. There is another credit refund program. It's called the Homestead Credit Refund. And what's really neat about this program is some people qualify. And here's a suggestion. If you have any questions about your taxes or specifically how this referendum is going to impact your taxes, Ehlers is our financial advisor. They make their services available to the citizens. And so we've already had a number of Montevideo citizens reach right out to Ehlers and say, listen, I have some farmland in this school district. I have some other farmland in this school district. I own a house in Montevideo. How is this going to impact me? And they can produce a sheet that shows you exactly what your tax impact is going to be. If you don't know how to contact Ehlers, give the district office a call. We will give you their contact information. Other than that, I know Matthew Hammer typically gives that speech about the financial part of this presentation. He's unable to join us tonight, so that sort of brings us to the end of the slide presentation. So Travis, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Nice job stepping in, Jamie. At this point, that's kind of all we have for this evening as far as the presentations to you. This is the point where hopefully you've been writing down those questions, or if you've had any questions, now would be the time to submit them in the Q&A part, and we will answer anything that we have to the best of our ability.
And again, I know at the beginning, I explained how to ask a question. I know we had a number of people join the meeting after the meeting started. So this is how you ask a question. There are 9 dots on the bottom right-hand part of your screen. That's 3 dots by 3 dots. It's 9 dots. It forms a little square. Click onto that square, and there you will have an option that says ask a question. Click that, it goes to our moderator. And Travis, you may just want to ask Sarah. Sarah is our moderator. You may just say, Sarah, has anyone asked a question?
No questions yet.
And so possibly we can wait another minute. Maybe the presentation was that good, and perhaps we can wait another minute. And then Travis, if there are no questions, you can bring an end to this meeting.
Yeah. I assume Matt just got so good at this a second time that answered all the questions. Oh, we have a couple. So one question is, what are some of the largest benefits of having a new fine arts center? So from a board standpoint, one of the ways that we can answer that best is it has the opportunity, it has potential to impact kids every single day, which is when we look at things, it's what is going to have the biggest impact on our students, and what can we do that will be best for them. Having it located right next to the high school and moving the band and choir rooms there will be students in there every single day for band and choir. There is a lot more accessibility to it for the schools. When they practice there, we don't have to move band instruments over there. Far as doing plays and musicals, all the stage stuff can be there. It is set up much better than any other venue that we have in town right now to perform theater productions, whether it be a musical or a play or whatnot. So that's just some of the things for our students right away. The other thing that we've talked about is it brings an opportunity for our community to host events, maybe have some bands or bring traveling shows, music, plays into the community as well. Just a bigger venue. We're looking at, Matthew said it now, looking at between 700 to 750 seats in that auditorium. So it'd be a nice large venue for any community music performances or things like that. Jamie or Dustin or Janet, any other input from you guys on what some of the benefits of having a new fine arts center will do for us?
Travis, the only thing I would add is that this is not just a high school venue. This will benefit all kids. Our middle school kids are a block away. They'll be able to come over for their performances. It can be used for large group instruction. If a presenter is in town, we can present to a much larger group and not disrupt the gym class, the FIAD program activities that are happening in the gym to do so. So it really will be a multi-purpose venue that doesn't just benefit the school. As Travis noted, it'll benefit all kids, K-12, and definitely the high school will be enhanced by having direct access to a venue like this.
And we talked a little bit at our last meeting, it will be able to be sealed off. So community could have events during school if it's not being in use for other programs or whatnot. So it's not like it would be completely closed off in the day. It would be accessible and kids would still have their security and be protected for that. Any other board members want any more input on that, or any other questions in our chat?
I think you covered it.
Okay.
Jamie or Travis, if there are no other questions, would one of you mind just jumping in quickly and kind of touching on what's next? What is the community going to see? More information, more community listening sessions, just so those that are here tonight can share those opportunities with others.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have more meetings coming forward in the future. We are going to get out in the community. We want to have more of these community listening sessions. And not listening, I don't think is the focus. We want to have the opportunity to present what we are looking at, and then have maybe listening is, but for us to listen as a school board, as a school representatives, to what the public has to say for questions and anything that we can supply for answers. So we're looking at having them throughout the community. They will go on through January. So we'll have multiple times. There will be mailings coming for call them fast facts, kind of give you a brief rundown of what is being proposed or asked for in the referendum, what things we are looking to address or fix, and why some of those things need to be addressed. And then you'll see, hopefully, fingers crossed, sometime this week, maybe even as early as the beginning of the week, there will be a website coming that will be accessed to the school website, but it'll be a mini referendum website dedicated to all things with the referendum that you will be able to have firsthand look at the plans that Matt went over earlier, kind of more detail. You can take as much time as you want looking at those details, a breakdown of some of the more detailed breakdown of the costs of what the referendum will be and where those costs will go to, what the dollar amounts for some of these projects will be. And so that's some of the important things that we're looking forward to. Jamie, you probably have a lot better detail or want to explain a little bit more.
I think you did a great job. In fact, I would pause. Sarah, I know that you are moderating this event here this evening. And so that question about what's next, what information can the public expect as the next 30 days unfold? Would you have anything to add to what Travis has outlined? And Sarah, if you are talking, you are muted. She's not. I don't have a mic right now.
Okay. While we take a little chance for her, maybe she can get in, we have another question in the chat. And the question is, what are some of the limitations for our students without having a dedicated auditorium or fine arts center right now? So a couple of those limitations is just not having a dedicated space. So right now it's either primarily this year, they've all been in the high school gymnasium, which obviously is not ideal for performing arts or theater. The song quality is poor. There's a lot of distractions that can go on throughout the day. The other thing that comes along with that is when they have to have the high school gymnasium, or if it's in the middle school, those phy ed classes are shut down for the day or have to be somewhere else because the risers for the performances are set up during the day so that the students can practice on them. So our phy ed classes have to be jumbled around, find other places. Jamie or any other board members want to add more to what limitations we have now?
Well,
I would
also in the other venue that we use downtown, the stage is very small. There's no place for sets. The kids have to go to the library to get their costumes on and stuff like that. Plus, we have to haul all the equipment and the instruments and whatnot down there. And so it's a struggle. It's a big struggle if we have to have performances in that venue.
I would also kind of replicate what Scott Ripley shared at on our last call, just the challenge of busing and transportation if we're off-site. The ability to get kids from class 1 to the Performing Arts Center for a presentation, for a performance, whatever it might be, and back, and not lose a class period on both ends of that for travel is critically important. And on the personal level, I can only comment my son performs in a similar situation in a gym. And my 85-year-old father-in-law who struggles with hearing just doesn't even go to the performances anymore because he can't hear. He just can't participate in his grandson's performance because he just can't hear what's going on. And so these venues like you're proposing in Montevideo will provide an environment whereby aging people with limited hearing abilities will have access to the sound system where they will be able to connect directly with Bluetooth and hear what's happening. And that's a very minor benefit, but a huge one for those that struggle with that. So small benefit, but big impact.
Thank you, guys. So far as information, more information in common, like I said, it's those fast facts. It's a sheet that has all of the information we're on. Those will all be mailed to residents. And then Sarah did say website live this week. So lots of communication coming in January via Facebook, newsletters, presentations. The school website will have more information. At some of these events that we'll have in the community, we'll have tables with information. We'll have boards that kind of show the plan better so people can get a better visual of that. There'll be a booklet coming out towards the end of January with more information or as much reformation about the referendum as we can, with the overall hopes of bombarding as many residents as we can with all of the information for this. One thing that probably hasn't been talked a lot much yet on tonight that I remember is early voting. So absentee voting opens up December 26th. So as early as the day after Christmas, if you don't have the Christmas blues or hangover yet, you can go in and start requesting your absentee ballot at the courthouse. Voting will be done at the courthouse, this referendum, not at the school. So it should be easier access to a whole public because or anybody that has voted in the past will know where that's at. But those can be requested for early or absentee ballot voting December 26th. And then also coming on the website will be some videos. So they will be doing some short videos, just kind of showing the facilities in better depth, and the public can kind of see a little better some of these things that we're talking about. But otherwise, we are more than happy if any community members would like to come have a firsthand look at our facilities and some of these things that we were hoping to address. We would be more than happy to welcome you in and give you a one-on-one tour, kind of show you what we're looking at. Any other questions out there?
He just said that the Chippewa County Courthouse is open Monday through Friday. I think I saw 8 o'clock to 4:30. And yes, they are going to be open on December 26th, the day after Christmas Day.
Hey, Travis, the only thing I would add is if community members have questions, don't wait for the information to come. Reach out to the district, call the district office, ask the question. We want you to ask the board and us questions. We're not hiding anything. We want to be very transparent with what we're proposing, and we have the answers for you. So don't wait. If you have questions, please call us, and we will happily give you a call or send you a written response.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Okay, we've had a couple of minutes here now with no additional questions. If there's none other, I think I'll wrap up by thanking everybody for taking their time on a Sunday evening to join us. Your presentation, just being here, is very welcome. We appreciate it, and hope you spread the word about what you heard tonight. And like Matthew said, we welcome all questions. Please don't wait. Please ask one of us. That's what we're here for. We want a chance to inform and educate everybody on as much as we can. So Matthew, thank you for taking time to join us tonight. And everybody else, thanks for coming. We will hopefully see you around the community. Thank you. Have good holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.